turned in. This was the proof of cosine, the derivative of cosine x. And if you're looking at all this stuff that you just picked up and said, hey, there's no grade on it, this is one of these Cindy grading. Yeah, they know what they're doing, 100. Yeah, they know. They ain't got a freaking clue, 90, you know. So you either got 100 or 90. I think one person in here got a 95 because they kind of convinced me they knew what they were doing, but not totally. All right, so, and this is using the limit f of x plus h minus f of x. Remember I said the only reason you would need this formula anymore is for proofs. Okay, so if I asked you, for example, on the next test to do this, and my other class we talked about, I don't think I told you guys, is that I will give you one formula sheet and you are allowed to use one sheet. Okay, and probably no calculators because of you. Because of, you can do all this stuff on a calculator. But when we get closer to that point, I'll let you know, and I'll also let you know what I'm giving you ahead of time, because you don't want to waste your piece of paper and put the same thing, you know, that I already put on my piece of paper. All right, so because I'm doing cosine, this would be cosine x plus h minus cosine x all over h. And you would have had to look up this trig identity, identity, and you would have saw that it was cosine, cosine minus sine, sine. So that was the only difference when we did the sine. So cosine x, cosine h, minus sine x, sine h, and then this is that piece right there, all over h. And so what I would do next, and just to not write another line, is I'm going to circle these two, because I'm going to factor out a cosine out of those two pieces. So the limit as h goes to 0, factor out a cosine x, and so I'm left with cosine h. This, of course, becomes minus 1, and I get this, and all over that. Now, hopefully you were here. If you weren't, this probably is going to make no sense to you, but those of you that were here, when we proved the sine, we proved that that piece equals what? 0, okay? So you can separate this stuff. In other words, I could bring this cosine x out front, take the limit as h goes to 0 of this, and then I can even bring this sine x. I bring things out front that has nothing to do with the h, and then I get the limit as h goes to 0 of sine h, and I put that over h.
That cosine h minus 1, that's the one we learned like 2 weeks ago, right?
Maybe not that long ago. Maybe, because it was in the trig when we proved the sine. So probably, yes. And so then I have cosine x. We proved that was 0 minus sine x. If I take the limit as h goes to 0 of sine h over h, what's that equal? 1. And so therefore, that's how you got that. I got lots of different ways that students said this and worked it, but that was how it should have been worked. And I will upload this video. Proof of cosine. And if I decide to have